Labour Pains is the fifth episode of the 25th season of The Simpsons, directed by Matthew Faughnan, and it's interesting. I don't know if I liked it or not. I think I enjoyed it, but I don't know, there was just something about it that just didn't sit right with me, and I'm not entirely sure what it is. So if you feel the same way as me and can identify why, I'd love to know. But for now, I guess I'm going to have to say that it was good. Homer is in an elevator, and this woman walks into the elevator and she ends up giving birth with Homer's help in the elevator. And Homer visits this woman because he finds out that her partner's not with her, and he takes some baby stuff and he starts to bond with the baby, and eventually he's visiting the baby like all the time, and we see Homer bonding with this baby in a way that we never really see with Maggie. We do see Homer and Maggie bonding occasionally, now and again, but not like this. And it's unclear whether he'll be able to keep this secret from Marge, or if it's something he's going to continue doing, and I guess until the end of time. So that part of it, I wasn't sure where it was going, and I won't spoil it by saying what direction it took. But I think ultimately, I didn't mind where it went. I thought it worked quite well. I'm still not sure if I enjoyed it. I think I did. We also have a narrative where or Milhouse takes Lisa to a football game. Lisa, as she calls it, an American football game. And I love the fact that Bart was like, it's just football, it's not American football, which as a Brit amused me a lot. Because there are a lot of people who will say there's no such thing. A lot of Americans who will say there's no such thing as American football. It's just football. I guess it would be like if they called it British football. It's like, no, it's just football. So I can understand the sentiment, but I don't agree with it. But nevertheless, they go to this American football game, and Lisa ends up doing a cheer with the cheerleaders, kind of against her wishes. And she finds out that the cheerleaders are tremendously underpaid. So she starts to help them to realise they need to protest and get a fair wage, and that's an important story to cover. It wasn't the most interesting, to be honest. I don't feel like the cheerleaders were that fascinating. Had that been the main narrative, they could have maybe fleshed it out a bit more, done a bit more with the characters. That could have been interesting. Otherwise, it's just it's a mediocre narrative, but with an important message. So it's not too bad, but not my favourite. And the story with Homer and the baby, there's one bit that made me laugh so much. Actually, there are two. So, the first one's not a spoiler. When Homer helps deliver the baby, he just picks the baby up. No umbilical cord, nothing. I wasn't expecting gore and graphic detail, but something at least believable. It amused me. But the second bit, and this is a spoiler for something that happens later on, so spoilers from now. I don't have anything else to say that isn't a spoiler. But when they're at the zoo, and Homer is busy out monkeying the monkeys, which is a phrase I loved, Maggie is going backwards in her pushchair, and instead of running after to help, Bart and Lisa just turn to Homer and say Maggie's rolling away. They go, run after her then. It amused me so much. And I don't mean it amused me because I thought The Simpsons had got it wrong and that's what should have happened. I think it's actually kind of, in a way, a good thing, because it showed that the children needed Homer. They depended on Homer to rectify this situation, and I think that was a good thing. But it just, when I saw Lisa turn her back on Maggie and look at Homer, it just baffled me that she wasn't chasing after her. But you can't expect everything to be realistic with The Simpsons, I guess. If you did, you wouldn't get past the first season. You have to kind of let those things go, as I have learned the hard way. But nevertheless, I did like this episode. I think I did. Yeah, Labour Pains is a different episode in some ways. Quite sweet and thought-provoking. And I don't think I'd mind watching it again.